But your dad was friends with Mark Knopfler.
Yes.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were good. They were good friends and exchanged guitars. Did some songs together. There's a song called "Not One Bad Thought" that's on the Uncovered album. The two of them. That's really great.
Yeah, Mark Knopfler is an underrated guitar player.
Oh, definitely.
But when you were growing up, did you meet these people? Because sometimes kids of these, you know, older
Yeah.
acts do meet them. Sometimes they don't.
Yeah. I mean, so like going back to the '70s when I was a kid, he would have like Duck Dunn and Blues Brothers were at our house all the time, and Booker T and the MGs and guys like that. Probably some actors too, like I think maybe Jim Brolin. They were good friends. Actually, I
Okay.
found some tapes that are. It's like a Jim Brolin album that my dad produced, and I haven't
What?
listened to it yet. But
Well, that'd be the first thing I'd play.
it's on like a 2-inch tape that I don't like. I have to
Yeah.
go get it transferred or whatever, which we'll probably do and check it out. But then like once we moved to Nashville, he and Waylon were best friends, and so I was over there at Waylon's house all the time. Shooter was like 5 or 6 years younger than me, I believe, and we hung out a bunch. And Shooter and I did a podcast for Outlaw Country recently for his Electric Rodeo show, and
Yeah.
and he brought up the fact that I scared him because he was young and I'm too young, and I made him watch Faces of Death at our house or something, and just like warped his mind as a
That
young.
sounds right.
He blames me for his for for how he turned out.
Not being able to sleep at night.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When you're growing up around people like that, because a lot of these people, like Waylon, is a mythic figure for people that haven't met the guy. Does that exist anymore, or is there a mythology? That's the word. A
No.
mythology to these people, or are they just guys that your dad was friends with?
You mean in terms of like how I viewed them?
Yes.
Well, I think maybe now it feels more mythical. But when I was a kid, I was just a kid. Like I didn't really understand. I wasn't going to concerts and seeing how big Waylon was. I
Right.
knew he was famous, and they had a giant house in Brentwood with a pool and Buddy Holly's motorcycle in the living room. So like, there were certain things that stood out as being like, wow, this is pretty.
That's not normal.
Shooter had toys before they came out. That
Right.
was that was what I remember. Like, oh, what's he gonna have this time? And so, um, but in terms of the mythical figures, like, not really. Now I feel it probably more because some of these people are deceased and I don't see them anymore. But it just all felt very real, and they were just his friends.
Yeah, that's my mom's family. My grandpa ran a music store in Denver called Colfax Music, and when people came in town, they would rent stuff from them. So my mom was growing up, like my grandpa was very good friends with Billy Cobham. And like Manfred Mann would come in, Leonard Skinner and Joe Cocker's guitar. One of them showed up in my family, right?
So that's cool.
Yeah, I don't have it, which is driving me
He was
nuts.
one of my dad's good friends too. He
He's
and
an
Cocker,
interesting guy.
It's a
he and
really
Cocker
interesting
were
guy.
good buddies.
That Mad Dogs and Englishman record that's one of the best records I've ever
Classic.
heard in my life. That version of The Letter and Leon Russell's playing guitar.
Yeah.
Anyway, uh, but like there seemed to be a time when, obviously not for everyone, but celebrity and I guess regular life were a little bit closer together. Like they were accessible people that you could see at a place. And now it's not that. With social media, you don't have. There's a thing that people are putting out, celebrity wise, and they go, okay, that's who this person is, but you're not going to run into them at the store. They're not at Nashville, like hanging out. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think you probably see it more in Nashville than anywhere else, but because Nashville's, supposed to be known for not bothering celebrities, right? But I don't know, that may be changing.
I don't know. I'm not a celebrity.
Don't sell yourself short, Sam.
Hey, I've been recognized a couple of times,
There
but
you go.
it's
Okay.
a pretty niche thing.
There you go.
I was at a ZZ Top show, and which was great, still killing it. But people came up to me, and I was like, "Oh no, I got to be a character now." Like you have an opinion of me.
Yeah.
That's very odd.